In modern day football, multi-club portfolios are all the rage. Red Bull and the City Football Group may be the flag bearers of the practice, but UEFA research has revealed there are 180 clubs and counting that are part of a multi-club network worldwide. Back in 2012, there were just 40. It now feels like every major investor in the game is targeting more than just a single team. AC Milan owners RedBird Capital control the Coupe de France champions Toulouse, Bournemouth's owner Bill Foley has invested in FC Lorient, while the fallen Bundesliga giant Hertha Berlin were recently snapped up by 777 partners. In just 5 years, the Miami-based private investment firm have completed full takeovers of Genoa in Italy, Red Star in France, Standard Liège of Belgium, and taken stakes in Sevilla, Melbourne Victory, and Brazilian side Vasco da Gama. The trend is so prevalent, UEFA President Alexander Seferin has admitted that rules and regulations that previously constrained multi-club investment may need to be relaxed. And now, Chelsea have entered the game, or more specifically, Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital. The American has made no secret of his desire to expand his footballing network, revealing his plan to build out the footprint of a multi-club model under the banner of his consortium, BlueCo. And that process has commenced, with Boehly taking control of Ligue 1 side Strasbourg. So who else are being targeted by the Blues owners? Why is a multi-club network so desirable? And what could this ultimately mean for Chelsea? Let's find out in our latest Football Daily Explained. Ever since Todd Boehly bought Chelsea, the club has targeted the best and brightest talents on the market. Amid their truly staggering spending, a wave of young stars have arrived at the bridge, including Cesare Casade, Omari Hutchinson and Gabriel Solina. Others already on the books like Armando Broja or Lewis Hall have signed new deals, while the Blues have been reluctant to sell any young prospects, most recently standing firm with Levi Colwill amid interest from Brighton. In the words of the Athletic's Liam Twomey, it's classic private equity thinking. Accumulate as many assets with potential for significant future growth as possible and never sell low. The only way to maximise that potential lies in game time, and this is proving a problem at Chelsea once more. Although the likes of Carney Chukwuemeka and Noni Madueke have earned minutes, plenty of youngsters have not, with expensive other signings crowding out their opportunities. But it appears that Boehly views a multi-club network as the solution. At the SALT conference in 2022, the 49-year-old said the following: "I think that our goal is to make sure we can show pathways for our young superstars to get onto the Chelsea pitch while getting them real game time. To me, the way to do that is through another club somewhere in a really competitive league in Europe." Previously, the loan system had served Chelsea for exactly this purpose. In the Abramovich era, the club infamously farmed out hundreds of youngsters, as many as 49 in the 2018-19 campaign. The practice drew so much scrutiny, FIFA introduced regulation that has capped the number of outgoing loanees at 8 for any given side. So, clubs must now be smarter with who they loan out and where they go. Therefore, having a network of clubs under the same common goal can only be a benefit. Other multi-club operations have demonstrated just that. Manchester City often lend their young stars to their CFG affiliates Girona or Troyes, and Brighton have enjoyed a prosperous relationship with their sister club Union Saint-Gilloise. Cairo Matoma and Simon Adingra both exploding at the Belgian outfit to earn their moments back at the Amex. With that in mind, Strasbourg and Ligue 1 looks like a sensible choice by Boehly. For the second season running, the French top tier handed more minutes to under 21 players across the entire campaign than any top 5 European division, more than Serie A and the Premier League combined and close to double La Liga. Strasbourg then could become part of the pathway for any young player looking to make it at Chelsea. However, the reaction to the takeover in Strasbourg does display some of the challenges Boehly's multi-club dream will face. Shortly after the £65 million acquisition was announced, images emerged of the club's ultras holding banners saying Boehly not welcome. The Blues had previously been rebuffed by Bordeaux and Sochaux in their hunt for a French outfit, while City Football Group's attempts to buy NAC Breda in the Netherlands last year collapsed after a furious response from the club's fans. In short, merely becoming a feeder club is not every fan base's dream, as Chelsea are discovering. Boehly has been open with his intentions for his multi-club vision, so Strasbourg followers may feel their caution is justified. After all, Le Racing have plenty of heritage to protect. They are 117 years old and one of just 3 clubs to have won every major French trophy. It's not surprising then that in a statement released post-purchase, BlueCo put emphasis on the honour of taking on the club and presented their plan to preserve the heritage of Racing. It continued, this strategic investment would further our presence in European football alongside our ownership of Chelsea. We believe it would create huge opportunities to share knowledge and expertise. Chelsea youngsters may yet start appearing at Strasbourg, who have only managed one top-half finish in the last 6 years. But in the meantime, fans of Le Bleu et Blanc can find solace in BlueCo's decision to keep Mark Keller as president, the arrival of Patrick Vieira as coach, plus the recent €20 million addition of Club Brugge centre-back Abakar Silla, by some distance a club record. Boehly has openly praised Red Bull's success at getting both Salzburg and Leipzig into the Champions League, so perhaps the plan for Racing is far greater than merely feeding Chelsea. At the same SALT conference, Boehly also spoke about how owning clubs in different countries can provide different unique advantages. Belgium has been a constant target for investment, with 8 teams out of 18 in the Pro League last season under foreign ownership, and 4 aligned with English teams. Boehly is rumoured to be interested in a Belgian outfit, for reasons outlined by sportsology consultant Shiv Jangiani. It's an easy market to operate in for American or British owners because of proximity, but also advantageous tax laws regarding player wages and how the style of play in Belgium correlates well with the English game. Belgium also has greater access to the African market, while work permit laws make it easier for non-EU players to build their credentials in the Pro League before moving on. Elsewhere, Portugal and Brazil are 2 other nations where BlueCo's interests are known. Back in 2020, the Evening Standard reported that the Brazilian giant Santos had rejected any talk of investment from Boehly, while the same publication claimed that in March, the Portuguese Minos Portimonense refused a £35 million offer to take control of the club. Manchester City had previously failed with a similar approach for the Primeira Liga outfit, who have made it clear they do not want or need influence from an English side. But not to be deterred, it's believed super agent Jorge Mendes is the man tasked with finding Boehly a Portuguese alternative. And there are plenty of good reasons to include Portugal and Brazil in a multi-club network. Talent from South America is back in serious demand. The €60 million Brazilian wonder kid Endrick will join Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo at Real Madrid next summer, while teenage forward Vitor Roque has joined Barcelona. And the Premier League's interest in Brazilian talent has never been greater. Prior to last season, a maximum of 3 players had moved directly from Brazil to the English top flight over the course of a decade. In 2022-23, 6 players made the switch, including Angelo, who arrived at Chelsea from Santos a year after Andre Santos made the same move from Vasco da Gama. Brazil is now the 2nd most represented nation in the Premier League, showing just how well they adapt. Transfers straight from Argentina are on the rise too, with Brighton and Southampton both doing business in the Primera Division last season. But it's not just the dream of finding football's future star that is fueling South American investment. Brexit and changes to work permit rules means it's now actually easier to do business in the region. This has triggered an intensifying of scouting networks in South America, which are beginning to produce results. Meanwhile, the financial power of the Premier League means clubs can afford to take a punt on a young prospect who may or may not succeed. Owning a Brazilian club would give Chelsea a greater platform on the continent to exert their influence and get ahead of the competition. It's a similar story when it comes to targeting a Portuguese club. Portugal is consistently the biggest importer of Brazilian players due to lenient work permit regulations and a shared language. Clubs in the Primeira Liga have constantly benefited from their relationship and knowledge of South America, turning huge profits in the market too. Just take Enzo Fernandez, who joined Benfica from River Plate for £9 million last year, only to switch to Chelsea for £109 million less than 6 months later. Adding a Portuguese club into their network could help the Blues cut out this middleman, saving them a fortune. Clearly, Todd Boehly is looking to build a portfolio of clubs that will all serve a different purpose within his BlueCo dream, with Chelsea at the centre. Strasbourg was just the start, so Blues fans, watch this space. So that was our deep dive into how Chelsea are building a multi-club empire. But Chelsea fans, how excited are you with Todd Boehly's moves in the international markets? Let us know in the comments down below. And what do you guys all think of multi-club networks in general? We want to hear your opinion. Subscribe to Football Daily if you haven't already with notifications switched on. Like this video too if you please. And we'll see you next time. Bye bye.